Did the Dallas Cowboys just suffer the worst loss of Week 15 in the NFL? Did they just prove that they can't win in the clutch? That they're going to be another disappointment this year? Did they just prove that you can't rely on the Cowboys? I'm Tim Ham, IndyCar Tim for some, DSP Media Podcast Network, Fish Report YouTube channel, and the Dallas Cowboys Daily Blitz reporting from Frisco. What a game, right? I was going to do a video immediately following the game, like a reaction video. Then I thought better of it. I needed some time to collect my thoughts and put all of this together and make sense of what just happened. And all I can call it is a meltdown of epic proportions against a team that you had no business losing to, Dallas Cowboys, proving among all of the disappointment over all of the years, and I've been a Dallas Cowboys fan since, I don't know, I moved to Texas, moved to Dallas at the age of 3. It's been a long time. I was there for the Cowboys runs through the 70s and the disappointment in the 80s, and of course the triumphs through the 90s. So I've seen it all. And this one was one for the ages, I'm not going to lie. The Cowboys blew, of course, a 17-point second-half lead as they fell to Jacksonville on Sunday. And whatever momentum you had going into the playoffs, this just squashed all of that. You now head into Philadelphia with your head hung low, your tail between your legs. I'm terrified of what's going to happen against Philadelphia. I am not going to lie. Some of you guys will probably disagree. That has nothing to do with the next game. And you may be right. I hope you're right. The Cowboys had a chance to clinch a playoff bid. The fact that they did later in the night has nothing to do with it. But you blew that chance to clinch with a win. I think this was the worst loss of the season, by far worse than the mid-November loss at Green Bay. And I think that we should consider this maybe the worst loss of Week 15 in the NFL. And if you watched Week 15 in the NFL, and you had lots of chances to watch, we had Thursday night, we had games on Saturday, we had games on Sunday. There's another game Monday night. That's hard to do, to suffer the worst loss of Week 15. We saw the New York Jets mismanage the clock when it counted in their loss to Detroit. The Ravens couldn't score to save their life in Cleveland. And I don't even want to get into the Colts. But look what the Colts did as they enabled the biggest comeback in NFL history to the Vikings. The Vikings, as they were up 33-0 and end up squandering that lead. Yes, I think the Dallas Cowboys loss is worse than all of those, and there's a couple of reasons. Number one, I'm terrified of the way Dak is playing recently. He's playing, and I'm not getting on the hate bandwagon for Dak. I've never been a hater of Dak. As a matter of fact, I was his biggest proponent to get paid when that was all coming down. I thought he was the guy. I'm having my doubts now, though. He's never been the same since the injury, and I don't mean the leg injury. I'm talking about the calf injury last year. But just his inconsistencies, the team's inconsistencies, just scare the bejeebas out of me. And, you know, if you want to pin that loss on Noah Brown, up until that point, he had maybe the best game of anybody on the team. And yes, he should have caught that ball, should not have been bobbled, should not have been juggled, allowing the defender that was miraculously in the right place at the right time to catch the ball, run it back for the game-winning touchdown. But let's talk about the defense, because this is where I think the failure was on Sunday, was with the defense. And don't forget where the Jags were. The Jags had lost 20 consecutive games to NFC opponents going into Sunday. But the Cowboys are supposed to have one of the best defenses. The Cowboys do have one of the best defenses. There's no argument. The Cowboys defense is the top 5 defense in the league in several categories. They're intimidating. They're smothering. They can score. They can get turnovers. By the way, the Cowboys won the turnover battle on Sunday, if you didn't notice. They were +1. The Jaguars had 3 turnovers to Dallas's 2. Of course, one of those turnovers for the Cowboys was in the worst possible moment. But let's look at what the Cowboys defense did a little bit. As Dallas, who has struggled against the run, but has shown some signs of life lately. Dallas allowed 192 yards rushing. That's not the worst part. Dallas allowed 7.2 yards per rush on Sunday. That is not a smothering, intimidating defense. Cowboys allowed 311 yards passing to Trevor Lawrence, who started the game a little iffy, and the Cowboys let him find his rhythm. And 503 total yards allowed by this defense. All of those terrible, but the worst part of it was just the second half. They just let the Jaguars find a rhythm and get into the game and really take all of the momentum away from Dallas. And that's really all I have to say about the defense. It was not the defense that we're used to seeing, and it ended up costing the game, costing the Cowboys dearly in a game that they really needed to have for momentum. Now, we know, of course, by virtue of the Giants beating the Commanders Sunday night, the Cowboys have clinched a playoff spot. Not the way you want to do it, right? I mean, Dallas is still 10-4. I get it. I'm not here to hate on Dallas. I'm just saying, what the hell is going on over here? Because you never know. The Cowboys cannot be trusted. The Cowboys, and if you're a longtime Cowboys fan, you're used to this, right? And this is just what you get. I get it. It doesn't mean it doesn't hurt, right? I mean, it hurt pretty bad because I was covering that game for CowboysSI.com and thought I had my story written until the game-tying field goal in regulation. And then I had, at no point did I ever have confidence the Cowboys were going to win that game about midway through the third quarter or the fourth quarter. At no point was I confident they were going to win. So does that make me a Cowboys hater? Maybe so. I just think it makes me a Cowboys realist. What do you consider yourself? Are the Cowboys done? Of course they're not done. I would love to hear from you. Leave me a comment in the comment section here on the YouTube video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're on Fish Report YouTube channel or over on FanStream Sports by DSP Media. Subscribe to that. Find me on Twitter at IndyCarTim. The show is at Cowboys Daily Pod. We'll be back tomorrow with another Dallas Cowboys Daily Blitz. Keep your chin up, Cowboys fans. We're in the playoffs. It only goes up from here, right? Certainly hope so. Until later, we'll see you.